The BFG and the Sparkling Dreams, a Magic Star Bedtime Story. Once upon a time, in a quiet little town, there lived a brave and curious little girl named Sophie. One night, when the moon was like a silvery coin in the sky, and everyone else was fast asleep, Sophie couldn't quite drift off. She peeked through her window, and what did her eyes behold? A shadow, tall and long, gliding between the houses. Sophie was a little bit scared, but mostly very, very curious. Suddenly, a gigantic hand reached in through her window and scooped her right out of her bed. Up, up, up. Sophie went until she was held gently but firmly in the hand of a giant. Now, this wasn't just any giant. This giant was very, very tall, with enormous ears that wiggled with every sound. He had kind, crinkly eyes, even in the moonlight. Sophie was frightened at first, but the giant's gentle sniffles and worried whispers soon calmed her down. "Please don't hurt me," Sophie whispered, her voice tiny against his massive hand. The giant looked down at her with a sad sort of face. "Hurt you? Never," he rumbled, his voice like the distant sound of the ocean. "I is the big friendly giant, the BFG." The BFG carried Sophie far, far away to his home in giant country. It was a land filled with towering plants and strange, whispery sounds. Sophie soon learned that the BFG was different from the other giants. They were big and mean and gobbled up humans. But the BFG? Oh, he had a much more wonderful job. Every night, while the other giants were snooping around for their supper, the BFG would tiptoe through the land, carrying a long, delicate net. He wasn't catching people. Oh no, he was catching dreams. The BFG explained to Sophie that dreams were like little clouds that floated through the air at night. Some dreams were happy and sparkly, full of laughter and sunshine. Others were a bit wobbly and scary, the nightmares. The BFG's job was to catch the good dreams and keep them safe. He showed Sophie his cave, where thousands of dreams were kept in jars of all shapes and sizes. Some glowed with a warm, golden light, others shimmered with silver sparkles, and some even hummed with happy tunes. "These is the lovely dreams," the BFG whispered, carefully taking down a jar filled with swirling rainbow colors. "Dreams of flying on fluffy clouds, of swimming with happy dolphins, of finding lost treasures." The BFG had a special trumpet, and he would gently blow these beautiful dreams into the bedrooms of sleeping children all over the world, making them smile in their sleep. Sophie was amazed. She had never thought about where dreams came from before. She watched as the BFG carefully mixed different dreams together to create even more wonderful nighttime adventures for children. Sometimes, the BFG would accidentally catch a nightmare. These were dark and shadowy, and they made grumpy, hissing sounds. The BFG didn't like nightmares at all. He carefully trapped them in special jars so they couldn't bother anyone. Together, Sophie and the BFG had many quiet, wondrous nights. Sophie would sit on the BFG's enormous ear, listening to the gentle sounds of the dream-catching net swishing through the air and the soft whispers of the captured dreams in their jars. She learned that even though the BFG was big and looked a little different, He had the kindest heart of anyone she had ever met. He used his size and his special talent to bring happiness and sweet dreams to the world. As the first gentle light of morning began to peek over the horizon in giant country, it was time for Sophie to go back to her own bed. The BFG, with his big, gentle hands, carefully placed her back through her window. Just as quietly as he had taken her, Sophie snuggled under her covers, her heart full of the magical night she had shared with the BFG and his sparkling dreams. From that night on, whenever Sophie looked up at the stars, she remembered the big friendly giant and all the wonderful dreams he was sending out into the world. And you, little star, as you close your eyes tonight, remember that even in the quiet of the night, there is magic all around us, carried on the wings of dreams. May your sleep be filled with the most sparkly and whiz-poppingly wonderful dreams of all.